Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination.
The term movie magic is one that gets tossed around a lot these days, about as much as a used hooker on a really busy intersection in the middle of downtown on a Friday night. In 99% of cases, I don't think anybody has any idea what they're talking about. But in 1993, when Steven Spielberg promised audiences that man and dinosaur would once again share the earth, he wasn't kidding. What can I possibly say about Jurassic Park that hasn't already been said? I'll sum up the plot as simply as I can in case you happen to be the 0.5% of the population that hasn't already seen this movie. A rich billionaire decides that amusement parks are so last year, and using the miracle of cloning and playing God, Hammond manages to revive dinosaurs. But investors and blood-sucking lawyers are breathing down his neck cause, understandably, someone claiming to have made living, breathing dinosaurs would sound like total bullshit. In order for Jurassic Park to be opened, Hammond brings a group of people to the island to basically test run it. This includes the child-hating Dr. Grant, which is emphasized to us very quickly by the fact that he scars one kid for the rest of his life right off the bat.
He slashes at you here, or here. Or maybe across the belly, spilling your intestines.
Poor little bastard will probably need therapy after that. Other people in attendance include the ridiculously hot Dr. Sadler, and of course...
You'll have to get used to Dr. Malcolm.
It takes us a fair bit of time before Spielberg delivers the goods. It takes about 20 minutes before anyone even sets their eyes on the first dinosaur of the movie, but it's without a doubt one of the most memorable moments in cinematic history. This was 1993, for God's sake. No one had ever seen effects like this before. Honestly, the look on their faces pretty much mirrored the audience's at the time, I would imagine. But what the hell would I know? I was only one at the time, still shitting my pants. As you can imagine, Jurassic Park is littered with top-of-the-line security measures and state-of-the-art computer systems. Spared no expense. Too bad all it takes is one fat Newman from Seinfeld to fuck it all up. Fun fact, if you look closely at Ned's computer, you can see he's watching Jaws. Hell yeah. Now we have a host of characters running around a park with no security systems, which brings us to easily my favorite moment in the entire movie. They build this big bastard up like crazy, dangle it in front of our heads. We know it's there, they mention it, they drive past her paddock once and we don't see shit. But when the T-Rex finally makes her appearance an hour into the movie, it is the stuff of legend.
Right all the time.
Spielberg could have easily cranked up a John Williams musical piece here and made this an epic moment, but instead, there isn't a single musical cue anywhere in this sequence. Nothing but the rain. This moment is pure horror, and I love it. Not only is the CGI flawless in the sequence, but they also had a full-scale animatronic T-Rex built by Stan Winston that was so real-looking that when it got wet, the mechanics would cause it to shake like it was cold. This wasn't an intended thing, but it was a really nice detail. This behemoth is so iconic that its design is what I and most people immediately think of when I hear T-Rex, even though the real T-Rex had like a mohawk and essentially evolved into a chicken. But I choose to ignore all that because this shit is awesome. Now with dinosaurs and effects this damn good, Spielberg could have easily made them the stars of the show, but he didn't. All the characters are very well written and relatable. They feel like real people, not like they're reading from a script. So when insane shit is happening to them, you actually want to see them make it out, but it also makes us hate the people that we should hate, which makes this scene about as satisfying as scooping that perfect ball of ice cream or taking that long dump that comes out in one solid piece. Oh yeah. I don't know what else to say about this movie. It's been over 20 years since Jurassic Park hit theaters, and even today it feels right at home with modern day blockbusters. Hell, it surpasses most of them. It's aged incredibly well. I was too young to see this when it first came out, but when it was re-released in theaters in 3D in 2013, I finally got to see this movie on the big screen, and none of the magic was lost. I had already seen it hundreds of times before then, and my heart was pounding just as much in that theater as it did when I was little. I couldn't rightfully give Jurassic Park any lower than a perfect 5 out of 5 stars. And you know what's really crazy? Jurassic Park was released in 1993. That was the same year Schindler's List was released. Spielberg directed both Schindler's List and Jurassic Park in the same year. Holy shit, talk about talent.